Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And today I like to do a get ready with me video where I just sit here and talk. I have a few things that I'd like to talk about. I've already gotten my brows down off camera. So the first thing I want to talk about is how I actually got into makeup. I kind of talked about it a little in one of my past videos, but not like a lot. And I actually would love to do a quick story time today on how this journey of mine started. And I'm trying to go for like a simple makeup that won't take a long time, because I'm a little groggy right now. I'm not a morning person. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before on my channel, but I'm not a morning person. This schedule is like killing me right now. I don't know why I'm already complaining. But anyway, I also started drinking coffee. So there's that. I kind of want like a fall eye look. And is this gonna give me that? I don't think so. This is actually one of my favorite palettes of all time from ColourPop, so we're gonna be playing with this. I feel like I should be doing both of my eyes at the same time. Like I said, it's not gonna be a complicated look. Like many girls out there who are into makeup right now, I've always been into makeup ever since I was a little girl, and I used to play with a lot of lip glosses. Yeah, when I was little, I used to be into lip glosses. You know, people change. Things change. Don't even try to come at me. What kind of little girl does not like lip glosses? Tell me. For real. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to list all of the items that I used today on my face and my eyes into the description box below. I have no idea what look I'm going for today, by the way. We'll just go with the flow like always. That should be my motto. That's a pretty color though. This look is definitely gonna be very far from simple, but you know how Mina is. And I know I just said, you know, how I get into makeup, but mostly I wanna focus on how my makeup addiction started and how I got stuck in it. I know that's kind of funny. I'm stuck in that vicious cycle right now, obviously, so you guys know. What if I went outside looking like this? Like, would you guys be proud of me or what? Huh? This is a dark color. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm like, I want a fall color, and this is what I end up with, you know? It is what it is, though. So where was I? So starting like 2014 when I came back from Kenya, I've been watching like a lot of YouTube videos and been like really interested in makeup. But I always told myself that I wasn't talented, that I would never be able to create a look like those people were creating, you know? Like anyone that I watched that had a YouTube channel at the time, like Nikki Tutorials or James Charles, or not James Charles actually. James Charles did not have a YouTube channel until 2014, I think, or 15 or whatever. But Nikki Tutorials definitely had one, and other people. And I was always like, you're not gonna be as talented as them. You're not gonna be like close to that. Stop kidding yourself. And I always had that mentality. And now I'm kind of like mad at myself. I know I shouldn't be, and you know, we shouldn't have regrets or whatnot. But now I feel like I should have never told myself that, because that was like putting myself down, and that was not giving me a chance to do what I like doing and something that I actually enjoy doing in life. And that was eventually gonna be my hobby. So I just sat there watching a bunch of YouTube videos and never actually got up and tried creating a makeup look, or like never even tried, even without a camera. It was not even because I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Obviously I did. I always told myself that I wasn't talented, and that was not gonna be possible for me, pretty much. So I was like, what makes you think you can do that? That's like a whole nother level of talent that those people have. Don't even try, because you're just gonna go ahead and break your heart. And I was so wrong for that, because I should have been my biggest supporter, but I wasn't. I didn't believe in myself, not even a little bit. So anyway, about 2 years later, after, you know, I've already been into makeup so much. I mean, just watching videos, like I was working full-time at the time. I would just, you know, come back from 9-hour shift and watch those videos. Like that was honestly my entertainment at the time. I would rather watch makeup videos than, you know, let's say Netflix or whatever else that was out there. So Nathan started noticing how obsessed I was with makeup, and that was right when we started dating. And he suggested that I should start like creating makeup looks. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? You know, I'm not that talented, right? And he's like, you never know until you try. When I first met him, I literally had like one foundation or two, I think it was. I always really used to be into matte foundations. So I had one matte foundation. And every night when we were both at home, he would start noticing me watching those videos. And he would ask me if I wanted to watch a movie or a show with him. And I'd be like, and I'd either turn him down or be like, okay. And then I'd be like on my phone watching my makeup videos like this, like the volume all the way down or muted. And every time he'd look at me, I'd turn back to the TV really quick, because I didn't want him to think that I didn't want to spend any time with him, you know, which was not true at all. I just love those makeup videos so much, and I just love the end results. and I thought the looks that people created were amazing and they were very talented. I think it was like a week or 2 weeks later, after he noticed me getting really into makeup like that, he was like, hey babe, I think you should start trying to create those looks even if they're not perfect. And I was like, how? You think I'm that talented? You're crazy. Get out of here. And he's like,
well, people have to start somewhere. And even if you're terrible, at least no one's watching you, you know? And you can only go up from there.
And then I actually started thinking about it and I was like, he's right. Like, no one's watching me. It's not like I'm on YouTube creating those looks with people or teaching people. I'm just learning how to create them so I can create those looks and be proud of myself. But I was still very hesitant. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And he kept encouraging me and telling me that I could, you know, like he does with a lot of things in life. One night he finally managed to convince me. And he likes playing guitar at night. He's been doing that for almost 15 years now. And then he was like, after 15 years, I'm still practicing how to play guitar and I'm still not perfect. People are just not born doing those kind of stuff, you know. It takes a lot of practice. When he explained it like that, I finally managed to convince me, and I was like, I want to give it a try. You know, what is the worst thing that can happen? And the best thing that can happen is me going from here, which is most likely gonna happen with practice. So one night while he was playing music, or his guitar I should say, he also sings. I actually give it a try with the makeup that I had at the time. I actually know a lot of people who watch those videos like I was and were like, oh my gosh, and then they start buying all of this makeup and these palettes that the beauty gurus recommend, and they're like, we're gonna be playing with this, and they never get to it because they don't feel comfortable or they just don't believe in themselves. They're too scared, whatever it is. I didn't want to be one of those people. I mean, even though I did fall into that trap a little bit, I wasn't really deep into it. I did buy like 2 palettes, but not a lot. I also started like with very cheap palettes or dupes of palettes just to get started with makeup. Also, I didn't want to waste a lot of money if I wasn't gonna end up using those palettes because I didn't know how I would actually, you know, feel about playing with makeup. I know it looks really good when others are playing with makeup, especially when they're super talented and they make it look super easy. That's how they sell it, you know. It's all business. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna be smarter than that. I don't want to fall into that trap. I even knew from then that I shouldn't fall into that trap. So I was super smart when it came to that, which I'm still very proud of myself for that, by the way, to this day. So then I actually started playing with the makeup. The makeup that I had, you know, I had to make do of that. Obviously, I don't even think I had an eye primer. I don't remember exactly if I even used a concealer. And the reason that I think I used a concealer is because if I was watching those videos and following them, most of them were using a concealer as an eye base at the time because there weren't many eye primers out there, if any. I definitely think I used a concealer. But anyway, believe it or not, guys, I actually surprised myself after the look that I created on that first time. I mean, it's not like I've never used the makeup before. Obviously, I used to put on foundation. I used to fill in my brows, which is something I always talk about in my channel. Like, I am very comfortable filling on my brows because I've always done that ever since I can remember, like years before I actually got into like the whole eyeshadow. And I don't mean to confuse you guys, but when I say makeup, I actually mean like, you know, eye looks and stuff, especially when they were becoming super popular. So I just applied what I already knew, which was my brows and the foundation routine. I never used to put on contour, so I used to look like a fucking ghost every time I went outside or went to work because my face was just foundation, concealer, maybe, and powder. That was it. It just looked very plain and not contoured or anything like that. And plus, not to mention that I used to put on a foundation that was like 3 shades lighter than me, so my neck would be like tan and my skin would be like, I don't know, like pale. So that was that. Someone tell me to stop because I'm going overboard today. And guys, you know what else? I'm missing a Vaseline on my lips. Normally I go for a lip tint. I don't know, I just literally had it in my hands earlier and I was like, you know what, I want to put it on camera, and now I don't know what happened to it. Goodness gracious. Guess what I found? Yep, we're still gonna put it on top of the Vaseline. That's what I do most of the time anyway. It's like a lip protector for me, especially when I put on foundation, because when I clean my lips later, I take off like everything that got on top of the lip balm, which is like a bunch of foundations most of the time, or a setting powder. I think I'm done with eyeshadow. Actually, you know what? I'm not. I lied. But anyway, after that night, I was like, obviously I can see that I'm not as bad as I thought I was. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, start practicing the makeup more And when Nathan has seen that first look, he was like, oh my gosh, this is not what I expected your first look to be like. It's amazing, baby. You got this. I think you have like a natural talent for this. And you know, when someone else in general, especially when that person is your significant other, tells you that you're just like on top of the world and you're just like, I got this. Oh my gosh. So I remember practicing my makeup skills every night, like my eye looks. And the thing with that is that I was not recording. I was just, spending about 3 hours almost every night, or at least 5 to 6 days out of the week, just, putting on makeup every night and just washing it off. Sometimes I take like Snapchat photos and pictures that would disappear. I didn't even think to take photos for Instagram. I didn't even have Insta at the time. So that's how it went. And the Snapchats would disappear, obviously, and I would get compliments from some of the people I had on my old Snapchat, and they would be like, oh my gosh, you're so talented, this is so beautiful. And every time that I did it, I would get more and more better. And I was actually noticing my own makeup skills getting better. And I know it's really hard to notice your own skills, especially when you're like doing it every day. You don't notice like the little detail changes, but I was noticing it. And I couldn't be more proud of myself. And that's what pushed me to keep doing it. I was like, nope, I can't quit now. Even when I was really tired, I'd had to do a full face of makeup. This would have been a better idea back in the day when I was practicing makeup. Maybe just practice the eye part, especially since I'm not recording like a YouTube video or TikTok or Instagram, whatever it is. Since I was just doing it for myself, I should have just practiced with the eyes only. But every time I did makeup, I felt the need to do a full face because I wanted to see the final eye results with my whole makeup done, not just the eyes like this, And plus, I needed to practice my contour skills anyway. So guys, my eyes are pretty much done right now. Yay. So as I practiced and practiced more and more, I got better in doing makeup, obviously. Don't get me wrong, I'm not anywhere near where I want to be in doing makeup or where I want my makeup skills to be. Like, not at all. I would say a 3 out of 10. But anyway, the point is that I struggled and struggled, but then I came out the other end, knowing some skills. But anyway, guys, I would never be where I am today if it wasn't for Nathan, because he's the one who pushed me and I can't possibly be thankful enough to him. So this is for you, babe. I love you so much and thank you for pushing me and always motivating me, especially when it came to something that I loved so much, but I just didn't have the courage to do it, or I didn't believe in myself enough. And guys, I almost moved on to face, but we're not there yet because I still have to pop on some lashes, which I can't seem to find any right now. I want to go for like natural ones, but what the heck? What happened to the natural ones I had here the other day? I put it on top of the palette. Maybe that's not the best place to start an eyelash. Okay, guys, so now you know how I get into makeup and all of that good stuff. I want to finally move on to how my addiction came about. You guys probably already have an idea how it started in the first place because I got into makeup and I was so addicted to it. And then I was like, you know what? I kept saying, I don't have any makeup. This is not enough. This is not enough. And it just kept getting worse. And I kept buying and buying. The thing that I own the most right now are palettes, obviously, and lipsticks. I got into matte lipsticks so much that I kept purchasing and purchasing and purchasing, and now I don't even know where to store them. And brushes. I am obsessed with brushes and I keep buying brushes. They take a lot more space than many other things in makeup, let's just say. Okay, guys, I'm back, and that took me just, only 20 minutes to apply my lashes because I'm out of it right now. But anyway, moving on to foundation. But before I do that, I'm gonna... Kids, don't forget to hydrate. I think I actually love this Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. But where was I? Yeah. So my makeup addiction started as saying just like, I don't have enough makeup. And now that I finally know how to apply most of this stuff, I need more makeup. I need to invest in more makeup. And I kept investing in more makeup. Investing. You really just need like 2 foundations, maybe 3, and a few palettes. You can like literally get away with 1, but I kept telling myself that I needed more and more and more, and I ended up where I am today, having to need a full room of makeup. And lucky for us, we have a small spare room. We don't need for anything else. It's supposed to be a guest room, but since we don't have many guests, especially during the pandemic, we weren't having a lot of guests. I wasn't even seeing my own best friend. I didn't see my best friend for like a whole year until like a few months back when we got the vaccines and stuff. And now it feels like we're on another lockdown. The world is just such a mess right now. I don't even want to talk about it. But anyway, so that's where my makeup addiction is at right now. And now I'm at a point where it's actually becoming a problem because, as you guys know, if you're not getting any PR from makeup companies, it gets really expensive. Especially if you're trying to review stuff and try to grab like most of the launches. There's just so many makeup companies out there, as you guys know, and I always seem to have lots and lots of launches. And because I follow a lot of them on Instagram and I get emails from them and text messages, they're like, oh my gosh, did you know this collection is coming? And I'm tempted to click in on the link, obviously, and then I see how pretty it is and I'm like, well, I'd like that, please. It was just such a bad habit. I mean, it's still such a bad habit, but now I'm hoping that it's a bit better with my job because one, we're gonna have extra money coming in, and secondly, I'm hoping that I'll be really busy with the job. I'm not gonna be sitting my ass at home, only focused on recording and editing, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing right now. Even though I'm not making money from YouTube, I'm still obligated to get these things for my YouTube channel. So at first it was like I don't have enough makeup to play with, and then the addiction moved on to saying this is for YouTube, everything is for YouTube, you know, and it's not always for YouTube. And that was actually one of the reasons I started my YouTube channel, not only because I was so into makeup, but also I was buying the makeup anyway, so I was like, might as well make videos and share with others who are also into makeup, because I'm buying the makeup anyway, whether I'm making those videos or not. So it just made sense to me, you know. So that's actually one of the reasons I started my YouTube journey, you can say. But now ever since I started working, my addiction is not as bad because I just don't have time to, you know, browse and stuff like that. But somehow I still managed to find the time to purchase stuff. So I don't understand, you know, I want to make a plan and actually start going on like low buys and then hopefully eventually no buy, because I need to go on no buy, period. My purchases are literally more than I can use. I still have palettes I haven't even gotten out and it's just getting out of hand. I would like to stop and I would like it to get better. And most of the items I purchase aren't getting any love. I know there are a lot of people out there who can use it, so I'm like making a plan like on my off days and start selling a lot of my makeup and decluttering. But I've been waiting to do that because I actually want to do a video for you guys, because it's gonna be like the first time I officially like do a big declutter, especially palettes, because this is not okay. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared to death that I might actually start purchasing more high-end stuff, because now I'm working and I'm like, you know what, money is not gonna be a problem anymore and I won't have that control that I had the past 2 years, and that is like really scary and it's scaring me to death, if I'm being honest. If I only spent like $12 or $14 on a palette and if it doesn't get any use, I won't be as hard on myself as I am if I were to purchase like a YSL makeup or very expensive makeup brands like Charlotte Tilbury. And I don't want that to happen just because I have like that urge purchasing it, and right when it gets here the urge is not there anymore, and I'm like, okay, I just spent like $200 on this palette or whatever and it's probably not gonna get any use, if you know what I'm saying. That's why I've recently been saving my money to only buy stuff that I'm gonna be reviewing for sure, that I also like, so I won't be feeling too bad, you know. But anyway, now I gotta move on to contour because I don't want to go back to the Mina I was 4 years ago. Contour literally changed my life, guys. Okay, this is what I found and I'm gonna use this. I don't know if I told you guys on my last video, but my makeup's all over the place because I'm organizing my makeup room. I guess I can call it my studio now. Fun, right? So I haven't like went on clothes shopping for some time now and I'm super excited. Especially the fact that I don't have any clothes to wear to work. I've literally worn like a pair of tights like almost 3 days in a row. I know that's really embarrassing, but luckily, you know, it wasn't really dirty. I still like, you know, changing my clothes every day, please. And I haven't been able to do that. Give myself some nice chin and some nice jaws because, you know, your girl ain't got that. I almost forgot that I have to make my contour more natural today because I'm actually going outside with it. I try to make my contour very natural anyway, but like on camera, I want to make sure that you guys see it with all the light that I have going on. So I got a little heavy-handed, but when I'm going outside, it's more intense. So I have to remember that. And that transition is hard sometimes. I totally lost my train of thought, guys. I was saying that we're going to shopping because your girl gained so much weight during the pandemic and even before that. And first of all, my bra size went up like 3 sizes Not that you guys need to know that. TMI, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure some of you guys went up a bra size in your life at least one time, so you can relate. So my thighs are a bit wider now, which I'm so appreciative. After my teenage years, I lost so much weight because of, stress and stuff. And I lost like all of my fat around my curvy area. I was always used to having those curves, and when I lost that, I just felt like I wasn't myself anymore. I relied on those so much, and that sucks because you shouldn't be relying on stuff like that. If your body changes, it changes, and I lost so much weight. At one point, I was like 80 pounds, and I was so skinny. I was struggling to gain weight. I couldn't. I had super fast metabolism. I guess that's a good thing for many people, but it was not because I really wanted my curves back. And I felt so bad because I felt like I was being unappreciative. Why is my bun going to the side? Hey, come on now, stay there. I felt like I was being an unappreciative bitch because, other people want to lose weight. But I had some struggles too, because I wasn't happy with my body. And I feel like one of the reasons, I was so focused on my skinny body was because my mom always told me that one of the only good things about me was my body because I always had a nice butt and I had some curves. And she always told me I didn't have a pretty face and I didn't look like the rest of the family because I look different. I don't know whose fault is that. Maybe I'm not related to them. Just kidding. I wish though. I wish I wasn't. But anyway, she always told me that, and I was like, okay, bitch, you gave birth to me, so if I'm ugly, I'm ugly. So when I lost those curves, that's one of the reasons I was so stressed about them. I was like, oh my gosh, now the only good thing about me is gone. And the reason that I was so stressed out and the reason that I lost so much weight was due to her in the first place. But then when I lost the weight, she noticed and she was like, what happened to your butt? Why are you so flat now? What happened to your thighs? And I would just go back in the room and cry about that. But anyway, I got into a whole nother story. Got distracted. Oops. I didn't mean to make you guys depressed. By the way, I want to try this new Anastasia Beverly Hills blush that I'm super late into reviewing. But you know what? We're not reviewing it now. We're just trying it. And it comes with a brush. How cute. I already tried it because, it wasn't going to be a review and I didn't have to worry about showing it to you guys, but it was super creamy. I loved it. This is one of my favorite shades in blush, like berry. So I was so worried about gaining weight that I kept losing more weight. And the minute I started getting comfortable in my weight, in my skinny body, I should say, I started gaining weight. I just feel like there is a reason to everything in life. And I just feel like God was like teaching me a lesson to be comfortable in my own body. And the minute, literally guys, I'm not even kidding, the minute I stopped, because it took Nathan months and months. I met him when I was still skinny and I told him how I felt about my body. And he was like, first of all, you have such a beautiful body. Any girl would kill to have that body. And when I say flat, I wasn't like super flat. I still had my curves, obviously. If you're born with curves, you're always gonna have curves. They're just gonna get tinier. And I don't know why she was calling me flat. So yeah. Oh, this is so harsh. I need to blend that out more. And because of the pandemic, obviously, I started gaining so much weight. And at first, I was so happy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my metabolism is finally slowing down, which is something I'm not happy about anymore. Sis, I got humbled real quick, okay? I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gaining weight way too fast, And Nathan's like, I thought you wanted your thighs back. And I'm like, I did. I was actually praying to God that I got my weight back. And I was like, I just want to get my ass back. I just want to get my thighs back. Even if I get like a fatter stomach, I'm going to go ahead and hit the gym. I felt like at the time that was going to be easier than gaining weight. And sis, let me tell you, that was not the case. I thought hitting the gym was gonna be easier. We actually signed up for a gym membership, but guess what? It's not as easy as people make it seem like. Well, I shouldn't say people, other people, like influencers or whatever. And you guys probably already know that. You don't need me to tell you this. But I was like, oh no. And I lost my flat stomach because, if you gain weight, you gain weight in all the places. Don't believe anyone that tells you otherwise. Well, now at least the good thing is that I got what I wanted, right? And honestly speaking, guys, I know at first I was freaking out about gaining weight, but like, I don't actually mind, as long as I'm healthy. I never had like a super flat stomach, but for a person who never worked out and a person who was curvy, I had a pretty flat stomach. My other highlighter brush fell on the ground, so we're settling for this. And now I remember why I stopped using this brush, because it's getting old. But I love it so much, so I don't want to get rid of it yet. You guys might not be able to see it, but it's okay. But anyway, those are just some of the things I really wanted to talk to you guys about today. I might have to use my finger for that. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. This is why this video is just a talking video, because you know, if I'm not following points, I get distracted so easy. And the whole point of me telling you guys that I gained weight was because today we're going to shopping. That's why I'm getting ready now. We're going to a thrift store, which by the way, I'm taking you guys with. Yeah, we're vlogging. That's why I have to look cute right now. Otherwise, I would never do my makeup like this if I wasn't filming it for you guys. What else do we need? Lipstick. This Mega Last Liquid Catsuit used to be one of my favorite of all time when I first got into makeup, by the way. Mina, clean your teeth. I got some lipstick on there. And I'm still kind of groggy right now, so I don't know how it's gonna go. So guys, this is the finished look. What do we think? Thank you guys so much for sticking around with me and listening to me ramble on and on. But this is why you guys are here for me, and I'm here for you, right? Once again, thank you so much guys for getting me to another milestone. I love you guys so much. Bye-bye.